The video you're about to see is for historical purposes only. It is an almost daily snippet of 1010 Wins broadcast in New York City and the New York City metropolitan area. On my morning commute, I listened to this news broadcast and decided to share a snippet of the news for historical purposes. The mission is to record history.
So, what are you waiting for? 1010 Wins is now on 92.3 FM in crystal clear audio.
The Newswatch never stops. This is 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good morning, 62 degrees. It is 7:40 on this Thursday, June 15th. I'm Susan Richard, and here's what's happening. Lawyers for Daniel Penny vowing to aggressively defend the former Marine who's reportedly been indicted in the chokehold death of Jordan Neely. Police make an arrest in the stabbing of a woman walking her toddler in a stroller in downtown Brooklyn. St. Francis College in Brooklyn, the site for tonight's final public hearing before the Rent Guidelines Board makes its big decision. Attorney General Merrick Garland making his first public comment since Donald Trump was indicted in the classified documents case. And could life be percolating on one of Saturn's moons? In sports, the Mets split the Subway Series with the Yankees. First round of the U.S. Open today in Los Angeles. AccuWeather mostly sunny and warm. The high today 80. Wins News Time 7:41. Traffic and transit with Karen Stewart.
Sawmill River Parkway in the northern suburbs, northbound, near exit 38 for Green Lane in Bedford. We've got an accident. We've got the right lane blocked. Southbound New York State Thruway exit ramp for the northbound Sawmill River Parkway has construction and the exit ramp is closed for about a week and a half. Motorists should utilize the posted detour sign, or you can take Route 119 as an alternate there. The accident in Woodbridge on the ramp from King George's Post Road to the New Jersey Turnpike has been cleared. The right lane is in the process of reopening there. Over at the RFK Triborough Queensbound, they're clearing a disabled vehicle from the right and centers. The inbound side of the RFK Triborough Bridge is busy, turning into a heavy trip right now to the Upper East Side. The Upper East Side's got a lot of volume trying to get down into 76th Street from back up the Harlem River in the low to mid 130s. And the trip to the west to the inbound side of the RFK Triborough starts on the BQE westbound with delays from Northern Boulevard to the Grand Central West and then up to the bridge and across. Mass transit delays. We've got Manhattan-bound 7 trains delayed. Alternate side parking rules are in effect. And our next report is 7:51. I'm Karen Stewart, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
The Manhattan DA needed a grand jury indictment to move forward with the manslaughter case against Daniel Penny, the former Marine charged in the chokehold death of Jordan Neely. Well, now comes word he got it.
Lawyers for the ex-Marine noting in a statement the burden of proof for an indictment much lower than at trial, vowing to fight for their client. They had already mounted a defense in the court of public opinion, releasing videos of Penny explaining his actions on the train May 1st here at the Broadway Lafayette station.
The three main threats that he repeated over and over was, I'm going to kill you, I'm prepared to go to jail for life, and I'm willing to die.
But lawyer Andrew Lieb tells 1010 Wins those threats may not be enough to support a case for self-defense.
You can't use deadly force unless there was deadly force exhibited by, in this situation, Neely.
Meanwhile, Neely's family in a statement applauding the indictment, saying in part, the grand jury's decision tells our city and our nation that no one is above the law. Samantha Liebman, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM in Soho.
Charges in a similar case on a J train. 20-year-old Jordan Williams of Queens is looking at manslaughter and criminal possession of a weapon in the fatal stabbing of 36-year-old DeVictor Wadrayago during a brawl Tuesday night. Williams says Wadrayago was drunk and harassing people, even getting right in their faces, including Williams' own girlfriend. Arraignment is today. A homeless woman charged with attempted murder and assault in a vicious attack in downtown Brooklyn. Police say it was 25-year-old LaQuisha Lawrence who stabbed a 34-year-old woman and threatened her 3-year-old who was in a stroller. That mom spoke to ABC 7.
She stabbed me one good time, like a few good times, and then I tried dragging her to the ground, and then I had her wig, and she got up. As soon as I grabbed the wig off, she got up. I got 4 stabs in one, another stab in my left thigh, and then I also didn't notice that she had stabbed me in my chest too.
Incredibly, she's going to be okay. The child was not physically harmed. Police say Lawrence has no prior record. Coming up today in Manhattan, Governor Hochul is convening a day-long summit focusing on youth mental health. Among the panelists, Rebecca Ben-Ghiat, president and COO of the JED Foundation.
We'll be examining the impact of digital landscape and lives on youth. And certainly they're facing a really unprecedented landscape. Climate change, racism, economic uncertainty, these are all factors that play a role.
The summit's from 10 to 2:30 at the Javits Center. It will be streamed live at governor.ny.org. Another public hearing this evening where the Rent Guidelines Board is expected to get an earful from both tenants and landlords. This is actually the last public hearing before next Wednesday's big vote on rent increases. It takes place from 5 to 8 p.m. at St. Francis College in Brooklyn. Meantime, there's been a venue change for the final vote. It will now be held at 6 p.m. at Hunter College with the noisemakers and even the drums that people have been known to bring banned. Mostly sunny skies, 62 degrees now, the humidity 72%, winds are west at 14. AccuWeather looking good today, a mostly sunny day with a high of 80. The Attorney General making his first public comments about the case that resulted in a 37-count indictment against Donald Trump. That's after the former president laced into the man heading the probe.
Merrick Garland defending the prosecution, led by special counsel Jack Smith.
Mr. Smith is a veteran career prosecutor. He has assembled a group of experienced and talented prosecutors and agents who share his commitment to integrity and the rule of law.
The indictment doesn't go into why Trump took boxes of classified documents with him to Mar-a-Lago, some containing the nation's most sensitive defense secrets.
As correspondent Rachel Scott, the challenge for both sides will be picking a jury. ABC News legal analyst and former U.S. Assistant Attorney Jeff Robbins.
If that one juror votes to acquit or refuses to convict, then the prosecution is stymied. And that makes the strategy of affecting the jury pool so important for the Trump defense team.
So how worried is Donald Trump? A lot, says his former chief of staff, John Kelly. He tells the Washington Post the post-arraignment public appearances are Trump's way of coping with what he knows is a dire legal situation. The paper's also reporting that long before the indictment, Donald Trump rejected a proposal by Trump attorney Chris Kice to try and broker a deal with the Justice Department. That would have involved returning all the documents in exchange for no charges being filed, but Trump apparently said no. Meantime, a new Quinnipiac University poll finds Trump's support among registered Republicans really hasn't changed much. When given a list of 10 candidates, he got 53% of the vote for the GOP presidential nomination for 2024, compared to 23% for Ron DeSantis and only single digits for the others. Starbucks now ordered by a federal jury to pay $26 million to a former store manager who says she was fired because she's white.
In Philly in 2018, a black man waiting for a meeting was not allowed to use the bathroom because he had not bought anything. He and his business partner were both arrested over it, and protests ensued. Starbucks wound up closing all of its stores to hold anti-bias training for workers. Shannon Phillips, the regional manager, was fired, while the manager of that Starbucks, who was black, kept his job. The jury said that violated her civil rights.
That's Matt Piper reporting. Starbucks has so far declined to comment. Police make an arrest in an attack on a lesbian couple in Suffolk County.
This beautiful place here by the water in Patchogue Village called Mascot Dock became very ugly, Suffolk County police say, when a same-sex couple was attacked in a hate crime. Authorities say the two women came here to watch the sunset last month, but around 7:45 p.m., 40-year-old Joseph Kess and another man are accused of making anti-lesbian remarks as one of the men punched the one victim while the other man tried to push the second victim into the water. The one victim did have her cell phone thrown into the water. Although the one suspect is still on the run, the 40-year-old Kess faces assault and other hate crimes when he's arraigned in court. David Kilnick is the head of the LGBT network.
What we saw is the increasing number of hate crimes against people because of their sexual orientation and gender identity.
Thankfully, the two women were not seriously injured. Sophia Hall, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM in Patchogue Village, Long Island.
Well, listen to this. A Harvard morgue manager is among 5 people accused of stealing and selling body parts.
The daughters of a New Hampshire sheriff's deputy who passed away in 2019 say they're horrified to learn their father's body was part of a grotesque criminal scheme at Harvard University.
Who could do something like that? You know, what kind of person?
FBI agents yesterday arrested Cedric Lodge for allegedly stealing and selling dissected human body parts while he was manager of the morgue at Harvard Medical School. Investigators say in a scheme dating back to 2018, Lodge stole heads, brains, skin, and bones from cadavers donated to the school for educational purposes. He then allegedly brought those parts to his home and, with his wife's help, sold them for tens of thousands of dollars.
That's Andrew Dimbert. On the Harvard website, the university called the crime an abhorrent betrayal and said Lodge was fired on May 6th.